All right, let's get right into it. You know that feeling when you're trying to climb to the top of Google and it just feels like an endless uphill battle? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down the strategies you absolutely need to know to not just compete, but to actually dominate the search rankings in 2025.
So, here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you really, truly win on Google? It feels like the rules of the game are changing every single day. But the truth is, there are some core principles that are more powerful right now than they've ever been before.
I like to think of this whole challenge as a giant puzzle. It's this constant fight just to be seen. And let's be real, it can be incredibly complex and, honestly, super frustrating at times.
Okay, so this is where we start to flip the script a little. Most people are completely obsessed with keywords, meta descriptions, all the stuff that's on their website. And look, that stuff is definitely important, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The real secret to making a huge leap in your rankings, well, it lies somewhere else entirely.
So what is this secret weapon? It's pretty simple, actually. It's not about what you say about yourself. It's about who else is talking about you. It's all about what other credible, authoritative websites are saying. It's all about building that off-site authority.
And that brings us to the most important term you need to know: high authority backlinks. Just think of them as powerful votes of confidence. When a big trusted site links to you, they're basically telling Google, hey, this site over here, they're the real deal. You should trust them. And that signal is the absolute core of modern SEO.
So you're probably asking, great, but how do I get these powerful votes? Well, this quote right here points us directly to the answer. Guest posting on other high-quality sites. It isn't just about getting your name out there anymore. It is a calculated, strategic play to earn the exact kind of backlinks that Google absolutely loves. All right, enough talk. Let's look at the cold, hard numbers, because that's where the real story is. And the results you can get from strategic link building are, well, they're pretty mind-blowing. Check this out. We are talking about a potential 25% boost in your traffic. I mean, think about that. We're not talking about redesigning your whole website or spending a fortune on ads. This is from one single, well-placed guest post.
But, and this is a big but, not all links are created equal. There's a magic number you need to aim for, and that's a domain authority, or DA, of 70 or higher. A site's DA score is basically its reputation score. Getting a link from a DA 70+ site, that's like getting a glowing recommendation from a titan of your industry.
And if you're still not convinced, just look at this. This is a real case study from just this year. A software company put this exact strategy into action, and their traffic just exploded. That is not a typo, a 2,000% boost. This is what is truly possible when you get this right.
But here's the thing. This isn't some kind of black magic or a lucky break. There's a formula to it. It's about finding relevant sites, creating genuinely amazing content that actually solves a problem, and getting it in front of the people who need to see it.
Okay, so now you get why this is so powerful. Let's dig into the how. This is your blueprint, your step-by-step guide to putting the DA70 guest post strategy into action for yourself.
It really comes down to these 3 simple steps. First, you've got to identify your targets, the heavy hitters in your space. Second, you craft incredible content, something they'd be proud to feature, that also naturally links back to your own site. And finally, you reach out, you pitch, and, this is key, you track your results to see the impact.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's great for big online brands, but what about my local coffee shop or my plumbing business? Well, this same idea of building authority is an absolute game changer for local businesses too. The principle's the same, the execution just looks a little different.
Right, so for national SEO, you're trying to get a shout out from a huge industry publication. But for local SEO, authority means being the go-to expert in your own backyard. And your secret weapon for that? A perfectly optimized Google My Business profile backed up by links from other local businesses. So if you're a local biz, here is your action plan right now. First, fill out every single part of your Google My Business profile. Don't skip anything. Then, make specific tweaks for the services you offer and the areas you serve. Finally, start building relationships and getting links from other respected local spots. That is how you get to #1 in your neighborhood search.
So, we've walked through the whole playbook, the strategy, the proof, and the plan for both national and local businesses. Now the spotlight turns to you and your growth story. It really is your turn to take these ideas and go dominate.
And that brings us right back to this killer question.
After seeing the case studies and the strategy, what do you think? Is it really possible that one single, highly strategic move could make that much of a difference? All the evidence points to a resounding yes.
All right, that's our deep dive for today. But I want to keep this conversation going. Have you tried guest posting before? What worked for you? What didn't? Drop your experiences and your questions in the comments below. Let's talk about growth.